Good evening and welcome to the City Council meeting of June 15th, 2026. The council meeting is called to order at 7:05 p.m. Roll call, please.
Alderman Klubik.
Here.
Moylan.
Here.
Oskirka. Sayed.
Here.
Merlin.
Here.
Walston.
Here.
Smith.
Here.
Chairwitz.
Here.
A quorum is present. Please rise for the prayer and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll be offering the prayer this evening. We acknowledge the responsibility entrusted to us as stewards of the city. May we serve with humility, wisdom, and a commitment to the common good. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Afternoon, Chief.
At this time, it's time for public comment. If you have an item not on today's agenda that you want to talk about, now is your time to come on up and speak. Please approach the podium, speak into the microphone, state your name, address, group affiliation, if any. Comments, as always, are limited to 5 minutes. We ask that you monitor the timing device on the podium. The yellow light indicates when you have 1 minute remaining. When you see the red light, it's time to wrap up. As always, please keep comments brief, to the point, non-repetitive, and relevant and germane to city business. Does any member of the public have an item not on today's agenda that they want to talk about? Okay, seeing none, we're going to move to mayoral announcements. And first off, we're going to have a proclamation related to Dr. Gregory Sarlo. So go ahead, Madam Clerk.
Whereas Dr. Gregory Sarlo has served 14 years on the Des Plaines Public Library Board of Trustees, including 13 years as president, providing visionary leadership that has strengthened the library and delivered lasting benefits to the community. And whereas through strategic partnership and donor cultivation, he secured more than $4 million for the Canvas Makerspace, which opened in 2025, established a 501c3 foundation board for sustainable funding, and led a $2.1 million renovation completed in 2016 without no new cost to the residents, while guiding the library through COVID-19 pandemic with protocols that protected staff and maintained service. And whereas, as a psychologist and LGBTQ+ specialist, Dr. Sarlo advanced inclusion by installing one of Chicago's area's first all-gender restrooms at the library, providing staff training and counseling, and was instrumental in the city's official Pride Month recognition and rainbow flag raising at City Hall and the library. He also collaborated with State Senator Laura Murphy to expand library card access for children in underserved areas. And whereas today, with his husband, Dr. Danny Buer, Dr. Sarlo is a beloved Des Plaines resident and supporter of the arts and local businesses, and has earned numerous awards, including the 2026 Armand Chiron Distinguished Lifetime Contribution Award from the American Psychological Association's Division 44. Now, therefore, Andrew Gachikowski, Mayor of the City of Des Plaines, does hereby proclaim the 15th day of June 2026 as Dr. Gregory Sarlo Recognition Day in the City of Des Plaines, and urges all residents to join in honoring his extraordinary service and enduring legacy.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk. You know, Dr. Sarlo has led the library board for many years, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity of gotten to know him. He's been a leader in so many different spaces, as you just recounted, but I'm also very lucky to be able to call him a friend. So I'm very grateful for his service to the city, and I know that some members of the library board and administration are here. If you all want to come up and say a couple words, you're more than welcome. Welcome.
Hi there. First of all, thank you for honoring Dr. Gregory Sarlo in this way. His service meant everything to him, and the fact that he is honored in such a manner, we did let him know about that, and it brought joy to his heart. So thank you so much for doing this. Dr. Gregory Sarlo led the library through some very difficult times and with some outstanding results. You know, he got the library through the post-recession times when everyone was struggling, all the municipalities struggling. He got the library through the global pandemic, through the renovations that you spoke about. And also through the most recent loss of our wonderful director, Joe Bonnell. So Greg has been the heart and the soul of the library board, and just a wonderful man, and I myself am so grateful for his service. So thank you all, and we will keep him in our hearts. So
Well, thank you very much. He leaves a
Thank
big
you.
legacy, so thank you.
thank you. And if anyone else would like to?
Anyone else want to say anything?
Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you all for coming. Have a great day. All right, moving on to some other announcements this evening. We have the Taste of Des Plaines. I want to invite residents and visitors to join us at the Taste of Des Plaines on June 19th and 20th in the heart of our downtown. This two-day festival offers a wonderful chance to enjoy some live music, to support our exceptional local restaurants, and to spend some quality time with family and friends in a lively community atmosphere. With entertainment across 2 different stages, a wide variety of food and activities for all ages, there's something for everyone. Please note that this event is cashless, so plan accordingly. We look forward to welcoming you as we kick off the summer together right here in Des Plaines. Next, as we look to Independence Day, I invite our community to come together and celebrate 2 valued traditions here in Des Plaines. First off, on Sunday, June 28th, the Sunday before the 4th of July at Oakton College, we'll be having our community fireworks display. This evening, as always, features music, family-friendly activities, and a spectacular fireworks show to light up the night. Gates open at Oakton College at 7 p.m. Then, on Saturday, July 4th, the celebration continues with our annual Independence Day Parade. This long-standing tradition brings neighbors together to enjoy floats, entertainment, and a strong sense of community spirit. The parade kicks off at 10 a.m. I want to congratulate City Manager Dorothy Wisniewski on receiving the Leslie T. Allen Service to the Community Award from the Illinois City County Management Association. This honor recognizes exemplary service, integrity, and leadership in providing exceptional service to the community. Congratulations, Dorothy. Great work. Finally, in July 2025, the city committed to the 4th EV Readiness Cohort through the Metropolitan Mayor's Caucus EV Readiness Program. Over the last year, city staff have evaluated and strengthened city policies and developed practices towards supporting electric vehicle infrastructure. Last Friday, the city earned a bronze-level EV-ready designation, reflecting our city's commitment to residents, businesses, and continued EV adoption. Thank you to city staff for their dedication and to Alderman Walston and Chairwitz for their leadership in advancing sustainability initiatives like this. We are better prepared to face the future because of your efforts. So thank you all. Moving along to Alderman announcements. Alderman Sayed. Oh, before you begin, I want to recognize, I know that there are some birthdays on the city council. I believe the 1st Ward, the 4th Ward, the 6th Ward, and the 7th Ward, I think all have birthdays within the span of about a week. So happy birthday to you all. We're grateful for your service.
Wow, where's the cake?
Not in my budget, I'm sorry. Alderman Sayed.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I wanted to say to my cohorts, too, happy birthday to you individuals on another great year that the city has gone and the input that you have done. And to Dorothy, we are very proud of you as our city manager and the work that you have done and being honored for your achievements that you have done. And we're very proud of you and thank you. I want to thank the fire department and the police department on some work that was done in the 4th Ward. I want to thank you very much for that, and for our finance department too, for your continued hard work that your staff has done to keep the city moving. I appreciate every ounce that you people have put into it every day to make our city moving forward, and we thank you for that. And I want to thank all my colleagues too. I was out and walking around and I heard a lot of nice comments about all of you, all the great work that you guys are doing, and occasionally it did mention me, but you got to know that people out there are really recognizing us and seeing what we're doing, whether sometimes they agree with us or disagree with us, but they're out there and they're saying thank you. And finally, I want to thank the clerk's department for all the work that you have done to help me out with my welcome packets and other requests that I have. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Merlin.
Right off the bat, in 2 weeks, on June 29th, I'm going to have the Fifth Ward meeting. It'll be at the Lakeshore, I believe, Lakeshore Room, which is below Fox Hill on the lake, at 7 o'clock. I know this is Mark's baby, but I'm going to comment on the movies at the theater because I've gone to pretty much every one, and Mark and I see it. Last week was incredible. We walked out. It was a beautiful summer night. We had just watched Jumanji with Robin Williams, and there were groups of young adults, teenagers, standing around just talking, laughing, enjoying, rehashing the movie. There were families with younger kids walking out, holding hands, and there were older people like Mark and I. We all came in there to enjoy it, and it was really a community event. So this next Tuesday, tomorrow, is The Lion King, which is a traditional Disney great movie. If you're not doing anything, I figured out if my wife and I go to every one, it'll still be cheaper than going to one movie at a regular theater. It's at only $1 a person, so keep that in mind. It's a lot of fun. Get there early because unlike a regular movie, there are no 40 minutes of previews. So get there early, get your popcorn, get your drinks, and join us tomorrow. It's going to be a great time. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Walston.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Alderman Merlin. It's been a very successful run so far, and I think it will just continue to improve. And tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for $1, you can go take your family and watch The Lion King. Great movie, and there'll be movies continuing through the summer, and we have a website. You can always look them up. Back to the Future is the next movie, and it's a really good time, and it's so nice to see families get together and come downtown to the Des Plaines Theater. There's been a lot of money spent on the theater, and it's great to see it being used by the residents of Des Plaines. Now, I'd also like to mention that we need more trees, I think, in our parkways. There's been through storms and through the emerald ash borer, there's been some devastating wipeout of trees here in Des Plaines, and I think we need to try to catch up. Tim, how far behind are we basically in what we've lost and what we're trying to plant?
We currently have about 4,400 locations that could accommodate trees throughout the city. We plant on average about 800 a year, but we also remove about 500 a year. So it's going to take us a long time to repopulate all that. And then if we get a bad storm, it's even worse.
Well, I'd like the council to consider taking another look at our tree program and seeing if we can't, bring it up to speed a little bit more to try to catch up for what we're losing. Trees clean the air, they bring shade. I think the more trees we can plant in Des Plaines, the better off we are. So I'd appreciate the council to take a look at that. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Smith.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to make a personal thank you to the police, fire, public works for the block party we had, and it was seamless, and all the fire, the ambulance, and the battalion truck were there. There's police vehicle and public works set up the horses, and really it was very nice, and the firemen and they, and the policemen, interacted with we have a lot of kids in our neighborhood, so it was very nice, and I want to thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Chairwitz.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My first thank you goes out real quick to Agnes from the Attorney General for being our last guest speaker at the 8th Ward meeting last month. She did a great job with PowerPoint, had all kinds of pamphlets out there for us, so that was nice. The main takeaway we got is that the they have a great website for finding out about whatever scams or even reporting something that you may have heard of or you're not sure of. It's just simply the IllinoisAttorneyGeneral.gov. So that's the main takeaway we got from that. But anyway, Agnes, when you're out there, thank you very much for being our guest speaker. Also, I want to thank Public Works for the fantastic job they did last week on the storm that came through, knocked out a bunch of trees. But Tim, you got to slow down a little bit. Most residents don't even know there was a storm. The next morning they wake up and all the trees are gone. So you got to at least give them a minute to see that it fell and then come and clean it up, okay? So, of course, I'm just teasing, but thank you very much. It was so speedy. Next day, a big tree fell down, hurt one of the fences in the neighborhood. I learned something that if there is some damage to your personal property from a tree in the parkway, make sure you call and get a police report. That I wasn't even aware of that. That's standard operating procedure. Get a report. Everybody's okay with that. Then Public Works can come and take the tree away. So that's one thing I learned from this last storm. So thanks, guys, for all that work. Also, Tuesday nights, the movies, I think it's been great. It's already been said a couple times, but that's not the only thing going on Tuesday nights in Des Plaines. So before the movies, the History Center is open on Tuesday nights late. They have a couple expositions that are there that you can walk through. One is environmental history of Des Plaines. There's also Sarah Schroeder's photography display there at the History Center, and it's open it's open late on Tuesday nights. Tomorrow, before you go see the movie over there, there is a town hall with our state representatives. Both Michelle Mussman and Justin Cochran will be at the Des Plaines at the Des Plaines History Center from 6 till 8. So you can stop there before you go to the movie and see the History Center. Or if you're into something a little different, don't forget about Rand Red Hots. Every Tuesday night they've been having their classic car cruise night. That's from 5 till 9 on Tuesdays. So there's plenty to do downtown Des Plaines on your way to the movies. So, and that's all I got, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Klevick.
None at this time, Mayor. Thank you.
Alderman Moylan.
None today, Mayor. Thank you.
All right. City clerk announcements, anything?
None, thank you, Mayor.
City manager's report?
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor. I have one announcement. I'd like to underscore and build upon the mayor's recognition of the exceptional work that led to the city of Des Plaines achieving the bronze level EV ready designation. This accomplishment reflects a coordinated and forward-thinking effort across our entire organization. I'd like to formally acknowledge Community Development Director Jeff Rogers, Chief Building Official Alan Yanong, Management Analyst Jack Tierney, Management Analyst Nick Pirro, and Dylan Srocky from Media Services. Your professionalism and dedication were instrumental in bringing this initiative to fruition. I also want to recognize the leadership and commitment shown by the members of this entire council. As noted by the mayor, Alderman Walston and Chairwitz played a significant role in advancing this effort, and their engagement has helped position Des Plaines as a community that is proactively preparing for the future in all sustainability efforts. Thank you.
Thank you. General counsel report?
No report tonight.
All right, so before we move on to the consent agenda, it's my understanding the city council would like to defer second reading of item number 2 under unfinished business, M-12-26, and they'd like to defer this to the July 6th city council meeting as the applicant has provided some additional amendments this afternoon, and the city council would need additional time to consider the request. It can be without objection? All right, without objection, we'll move that to the July 6th meeting. So we're not going to be hearing that particular agenda item. Next up this evening is the consent agenda. Does any member of the city council or member of the audience wish to remove any item from tonight's consent agenda? Seeing none, may I have a motion to establish? Thank you, Alderman Sayed, seconded by Alderman Merlin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Now, as always, all items on the city's consent agenda can be viewed on the city's website, where we post our entire packet online for you to see. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Motion from Alderman Sayed, seconded by Alderman Merlin. Roll call, please.
Alderman Moylan.
Aye.
Sayed. Merlin.
Aye.
Mostyn.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Chairwitz.
Aye.
Klebbick.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Mayor,
Alderman Walston.
if I could, for everybody in the audience that is here for the Potter Road Church, that has been deferred to a next meeting. You're more than welcome to stay for the meeting, but that will not be discussed tonight.
Thank you, Alderman. And for a point of clarification, we had said it was item 2, but it's actually item number 1. Second reading of item number 1 under unfinished business, M-12-26, is the item that will be on the July 6th City Council meeting. And I'd also like to ask staff to include the amendments in the July 6th agenda materials so that people can get a look at it all. Okay?
Thank you for
Is it?
coming.
All right, thank you, Alderman. Moving along to reappointments, there are a number of reappointments for your consideration only. There's no action required this evening. 2 appointments or reappointments to the Board of Police and Fire Commissioners. Christy Garceau with a term to expire 4/30 of 28, and Tom Green with a term to expire 4/30 of 2029. And their material will be in the packet for the council to look over. Next up in unfinished business, we have second reading of ordinance M-12-26 as amended, consideration of an ordinance amending Title IV of the City Code to establish business licensing and operating regulations for domestic animal care and service establishments. Director Rogers.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, members of the City Council. The ordinance before the council is an amended version based on the recommendation and motion the City Council provided on June 1st. On June 1st, the City Council voted 8-0 to approve a text amendment to Title IV, Chapter 23. That amendment was striking references to veterinary clinics. So the ordinance was updated, and the updated version was included in your packets. I also have that verbiage available on the slides if there are any specific questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Director Rogers. Are there any questions or comments from the Alderman? Are there any questions or comments on this ordinance from the audience? With that, I'd entertain a motion. Motion from Alderman Merlin, seconded by Alderman Smith, for passage of resolution M-12-26 as amended on second reading. Let's have a roll call, please.
Alderman Sayed.
Aye.
Merlin.
Aye.
Walston.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
Chairwitz.
Aye.
Klebbick.
Aye.
Moylan.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much. Moving along to new business, I know that Alderman Chairwitz, you had talked about potentially having the History Center move up.
If that
On the
was,
agenda?
without objection, that would be great. Yeah.
I'd be
I know
fine
the
with that without
representatives are
objection. I think we're going to move the ordinance regarding community services with Chairman Smith. We're going to move number 5 up to number 1 tonight, and it's a consideration of an agreement of the History Center for provision of funding. So Alderman Smith, if you'd like, we'll do your committee first this evening.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This evening, we have one item on the agenda from the Community Service Committee. Resolution R-144-26 is up for City Council consideration. The resolution is for an interlocal agreement between City of Des Plaines and Des Plaines History Center and authorizes subsidy funding in the budgeted amount of $100,000 for the 2026 fiscal year. Before we open this discussion, I'd like to ask the members of the council before we open this item for discussion, I'd like to let the members of the council know that the History Center Director, Dennis Murray, is in attendance to answer any questions. I think he was, but maybe not.
He's over there.
Okay. I don't know if there's any questions, but there is.
Sure, just very briefly, Mr. Chairman. I must say, the History Center is such a great asset to our community. we're making all these changes and trying to grow the community for the future. I think it's really important to have an entity that's committed to remembering our past and the legacy of the people that came before us. So I think it sounds great, and I'm always supportive of this as well. So thank you very much, Madam Chairman.
Okay, I'd like to open up the item for discussion for members of the city council. Mike?
Real quick, thank you. I just want to thank the patience of council, too. Last year, we went through quite a bit of change at the History Center with our executive director, search committee, and we ended up with a great director now. And this year should be really, really nice. One of the things that just came out today, I know the city's aware of it, we were going to, the History Center came up with the idea to read the Declaration of Independence on July 4th after the parade over at the History Center, celebrating the 250th. So just one item of all the stuff that they've been doing to further the History Center. So thanks again for your patience.
Alderman, say it. Oh, Alderman Merlin, I'm sorry.
She couldn't turn that sharp, that's okay. I want to say as a longtime resident of Des Plaines, 40-plus years, only in the last year have I really had a chance to go to the History Center because their hours were shorter than ever and you couldn't get there. I've taken a tour of the house. I've seen their exhibits. I've talked about it. I did hear about the Declaration of Independence, which is just a cool idea. History is a great thing, and you learn more and more about it and what part our town played in the whole development of this area. So if you haven't been there, please go. I fully support this resolution because I think it's really making strides in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman, say it.
Ditto to my two colleagues about the History Center. I think you guys are doing a very excellent job, and I like the ideas of what you want to do going henceforth. As Alderman Merlin said about the History Center, it's a part of our town and our community of what we have done, and they have reported it, I think, in a very elegant way so people can understand it, and I'll be supporting this, of course, too. But I just want to say thank you very much for all your leadership and the ideas you have going forward, and thank you.
Thanks, Alderman. Are there any residents that'd like to make a comment on this agenda item? Okay, is there a motion to approve R-144-2026?
All right. So motion from Alderman Sayed, seconded by Alderman Chairwitz. Let's have a roll call vote on resolution R-144-26.
Alderman Merlin?
Aye.
Walston?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Chairwitz?
Aye.
Clubbit?
Aye.
Moylan?
Aye.
Sayed.
Motion carried. Thank you very much, Madam Chairwoman, for your work. Moving along to new business, I have one item at the start here. It's a resolution adopting the City of Des Plaines Strategic Plan for 2027 through 2030, Resolution R-155-26. The strategic planning process is something that began in October of 2025 when we retained a consultant, and they went through our environmental and organizational data to support, they went through this to establish a foundation for some long-term strategic planning. Then, in February of this year, we met on a weekend with some elected officials and senior staff, and we had a strategic planning workshop that was facilitated where we talked through the goals of the city, the plans that would define the city, what we want as a community moving forward. Finally, later this spring, staff built upon this direction established by the council. They developed an implementation framework, and they put together some initiatives and measurable targets so we can track over time. The result of all of this is a comprehensive strategic plan containing 5 strategic goals, over 20 initiatives, and some measurable performance targets that align city operations with the priorities and the outcomes established by the City Council. The plan sets out the following vision and mission statements. For our vision, Des Plaines is a caring community with deep connections and a forward-thinking approach. Des Plaines is where people come together to build a future abundant with possibilities. In terms of the city's mission, our mission statement is that we are a welcoming city with a strong sense of community. Des Plaines professionally delivers cost-effective services essential to safe, sustainable, and engaged community. These are something that I know staff and the elected officials work pretty hard on trying to distill exactly what it is that our community should be aiming for long term. We laid out 5 strategic goals in this. There's economic development, infrastructure and sustainability, a workforce of excellence, financial sustainability, and finally, community image. And each of these have subtopics that you'll be able to see online when we post this entire thing. Long story short, these are all elements that, when put together, will help us to meet those vision and mission statements and help our community continue to grow into a place where more and more people want to come and raise a family and work and spend their time and money. This strategic plan builds upon the city's 2022 to 2026 strategic plan, and it establishes a framework to guide organizational decision-making from January of 27 through December of 2030. So again, this is forward-looking several years ahead. Upon adoption, the strategic plan will serve as one of the city's primary policy documents, guiding our annual budget development and aligning city operations with priorities established by the City Council. It's basically establishing a framework where we can move forward and rely on these guiding principles when we're making decisions. So I want to thank staff for all their work on this. I know City Manager Wisniewski, all the directors, all the elected officials. Again, I'm glad that we are in a place where we may disagree on details here and there, but we all definitely have the same sort of guiding philosophy for where we want the city to go, and it's been a real pleasure. So are there any questions from the Aldermen or comments from the Aldermen? And Alderman Walston.
I've been through several of these since 2007 when I first came on the council. I think it's a great idea. It helps us formulate a vision for the future of our community, and I think this was a very good meeting that we had in February, and I'm excited about moving forward with this.
Thank you, Alderman. Alderman Sayed.
I highlight what my colleague in the 6th Ward I just said, and I've been around here a little bit on this council for a length of time. But you have to go back and look at the people who are putting this plan together for us and the visions that these individuals have to make our city go forward, and that's what we want to do. And we're blessed to have the talent here and the leadership that we have to make our city moving forward. Sometimes people say we're not moving fast enough, but we're moving. And we're heading in the right direction. And we're making our city a very livable place, profitable place, and it's an exciting place. So my hat's off to you and your staff, Mayor, and staff, what you have done. Mr. Rogers, thank you for all you've done. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. Any other Aldermen? All right, anyone from the audience? With that, I'd like to entertain a motion to pass Resolution R-155-26, motion from Alderman Sayed, seconded by Alderman Smith. Let's have a roll call, please.
Alderman Walston?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Chairwitz?
Aye.
Klebick?
Aye.
Moylan?
Aye.
Sayed? Aye. Merlin?
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Moving along to the Finance and Administration Committee, we have Chairman Sayed.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have one item on the agenda tonight. It's Warrant Register R-153-26 in the amount of $3,931,568.16. Any questions from the Alderman? Any questions from the audience? Mr. Mayor, so moved.
Motion from Chairman Sayed, seconded by Alderman Merlin. Let's have a roll call, please, on Resolution R-153-26.
Alderman Smith?
Aye.
Chairwitz?
Aye.
Klebick?
Aye.
Moylan?
Aye.
Sayed?
Aye.
Merlin?
Aye.
Walston?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Moving along to Community Development, I think we have a couple of items with Chairman Moylan.
Thank you, Mayor. Community Development has 2 items on tonight's agenda. We'll start with item A, consideration of an ordinance approving zoning text amendments regarding specific sign regulations for cannabis business establishments. At this time, I'll turn it over to Director Rogers for a review of the ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This item is a draft ordinance amending the text of the city code, and specifically Title 12, where certain specific regulations only applicable to cannabis businesses were introduced to the code as part of a prior text amendment. Since that time, the state of Illinois has clarified and amended their statewide cannabis signage regulations that apply both to signage on the premises and advertising of cannabis dispensaries. So the proposal tonight is to remove the local signage regulations that govern cannabis dispensaries more restrictively than other businesses. All of the state code requirements that mirror some of the city's current local requirements would still remain in effect. So this would be an elimination of the current Section A of Section 12.813, and then renumbering of the remaining sections. These include limiting wall signage to 50 square feet instead of 125 square feet that's allowed for a typical business. It allows for certain window signage, provided that that window signage not contain cannabis imagery or anything cartoonish in nature that would otherwise be directed at advertising at children. Again, these would be opening up cannabis dispensaries to include certain signage that would be allowed for other businesses. We have 2 active cannabis businesses operating in the community. Both have signage that would not have otherwise complied with the city's local requirements. This amendment would bring those into compliance. After a public hearing at the PZB, they voted by a 5-0 vote to recommend the City Council approve the text amendment to delete these specific requirements. A summary of the state's requirements is included, and I can answer any questions that the City Council members may have about the requirements above and beyond those enforced at the local level. Thank you.
Thank you, Director, for the review of those amendments. This time open up to the council for any discussion. Alderman Smith.
On the one that's on Wolf Road, Good Stuff, I thought that sign that was in the parking lot was going to have to, it's like, has slats underneath where you would put in specials or whatever. I thought that was going to be changed or or taken down or something. It was just signage on the building.
So the Super Good is the dispensary on North Wolf Road. That particular business is operating with a temporary certificate of occupancy at this time because of outstanding signage issues. The wall sign on that property is too large. The wall sign on that property includes the word cannabis, and there is a ground sign on that property that would not be allowed for a dispensary. Under the current local ordinance, dispensaries are not allowed their own ground signs. So if this text amendment were not approved, there would have to be substantial changes to the signage on that property, as you described. There's currently, at a second location that just recently turned in their state of Illinois license, they have window signage. They were required to separate the view from the outside of the tenant space to the interior space by the state, and they decided to include several words on that signage where the local ordinance wouldn't allow any signage content on the windows. So these are some of the clarifications that when this was adopted, it was in the absence of clarifications from the state. When those were adopted, some of those overlap with our current local requirements, but the local ordinance is much more restrictive for cannabis dispensaries currently than it is for general businesses, while those cannabis businesses will still have to comply with the state law restricting certain content of that signage.
So do they have a deadline when they have to comply with, as far as the cannabis, the word cannabis and the one in the parking lot?
Only if this text amendment is not approved, then they would be given a 15-day notice to remove the non-compliant signage in favor of compliant signage.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Alderman.
Thank you.
Any additional Alderman Merlin?
I just wanted to touch on, maybe expand it a little bit. When you talked about you can't have cartoonage, we understand what that means. But who approves that? I mean, does that go to the city or is that through the state?
If this text amendment were approved, the state's requirement, number 7, it's section 410, 705, 5020A7, includes, it's no cannabis business establishment shall engage in any advertising that contains any statement or illustration that includes any image designed to appeal to minors, including cartoons, toys, animals, or children, or any other likeness to images, characters, or phrases that is designed in any manner to be appealing to or encourage consumption by persons under 21 years of age.
So that would be enforced by the state?
By the state.
Okay, that was my question, okay.
Thank you, Alderman Smith.
Thanks, Chairman Moylan. I have a question. So this text amendment, is this to where if we vote for it, what we were talking about, the cannabis and the signage, the one on Wolf Road, that's the one that I'm talking about, would have to be taken down within a certain period of time, or exactly what is this? What are we voting on?
So irrespective of the existing conditions at the Supergood dispensary location, this text amendment would intend to treat cannabis dispensaries just like any other business in regard to signage, along the same size, quantity, locations as other businesses, rather than having a separate, more restrictive set of rules. Keeping in mind that the state already has more restrictive rules for these businesses. If this text amendment, only in the event this text amendment was denied, would that Supergood dispensary have to start amending and modifying the signage that they previously installed?
But wouldn't the word cannabis have to be gone no matter what?
No, the word cannabis would be allowed to be included on that sign if this text amendment were approved. Regulation of sign content is always a bit of a gray area at the municipal level. The current ordinance is the language that's stricken and otherwise highlighted in the staff memo, says that signage may not contain cannabis imagery such as cannabis leaves, plants, smoke, paraphernalia, or cartoonish imagery oriented toward youth, or any language referencing cannabis, marijuana, or other common colloquial terms for cannabis. That is a current requirement that would be proposed to be stricken, and then signage at Supergood would be allowed to remain as it currently is installed.
Okay, I'm still confused as far as the signage itself that's in the parking lot on this particular operation. Would that, if we voted yes on this, that would be able to stay the way it is?
Correct. That's not the specific intent of this ordinance. This ordinance would apply to all cannabis businesses. A vote on this ordinance this evening, a vote of yes, would mean that that particular business would be allowed to keep all of their existing signage, and a vote of no would require removal of all of the signage from that property in favor of some new proposed signage.
Okay. Thank you, Director Rogers. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Alderman. Any additional comments from the council? Any from the audience? I'll stand to make a motion to approve ordinance Z-13-26.
Motion from Chairman Moylan, seconded by Alderman Walston. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Ordinance Z-13-26 passes on first reading.
No.
Thank you, Mayor.
Oh, you know what? Let's have a roll call for that, if that's okay.
Alderman Sherwitz,
Aye.
Klebik,
Aye.
Moylan,
Aye.
Sayed,
Aye.
Merlin,
Aye.
Walston,
Aye.
Smith.
No.
Motion carries 6-1. Back to you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mayor. That brings us to item B, consideration of an ordinance approving a major variation for minimum patio setback at 319 Dover Drive. Back to you, Director.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a major variation request for a residential property. The applicant requested consideration of a major zoning variation. The location is a residential duplex. The property owner owns the south half of an existing duplex residence. There was an existing patio serving this property as well as the adjacent property, the abutting conjoined property. The applicant installed additional concrete beyond what was initially approved as part of the original development. When that was identified, the applicant applied for a building permit. The building permit could not be approved because of the location and proximity of the new patio to the property line. The applicant's requesting relief from the zoning ordinance to allow a setback to the rear yard for the patio of 0 feet instead of a minimum setback of 5 feet. This first photo shows the extension of the patio in the location outlined by the form here. It includes concrete poured around a utility pedestal, and another photo looking in the other direction. And lastly, a photo showing the expansion to the original patio, which is a common setback from the adjacent duplex to the area that was expanded. After consideration at a public hearing, the PZB voted by a 3-2 vote to recommend the City Council approve the major variation request as proposed by the applicant. I can attempt to answer any questions about the city's requirements for patios, and I believe the applicant is here this evening to answer any questions about the circumstances of their request. Thank you.
Thank you, Director. I'll open it up for discussion from the council. I believe this is in the 8th Ward. Alderman Sherwitz.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. As much as I normally try to err on the side of the residents, in this particular time, I don't think I can. This is an extremely dense area over on Dover Lane, Dover Drive. It's very, very congested. A lot of parking needs, and although this doesn't do anything with parking, in my opinion, I'm not even sure if the water retention issue, where the water would have to basically allow the backyards drain through the backyard. I'm not sure if that actual concrete gets in the way of that, but there's a bunch of different reasons why I'd say no. I think probably the main one is I really don't want to put a precedent that somebody can go ahead and do what they may or may not know is right and then come to us and have it fixed when it should not really have been done there. I think very easily a flower bed there with some landscaping fabric and some mulch on top would have done just as good a job for a backyard party as would a poured concrete base that they did without the permit. So that being said, I'll be voting no against this particular item. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Alderman. Any additional comments from the council? Any from the audience? Seeing none, is there a motion to deny then, Alderman?
I would certainly, yes, move to deny ordinance Z 14-26.
Motion from Alderman Sherwitz, second by Alderman Sayed, to deny ordinance Z-14-26. Let's have a roll call, please.
Alderman Klebeck?
Aye.
Moylan?
Aye.
Sayed? No. Merlin?
Aye.
Walston?
Aye.
Smith?
Aye.
Chairwitz?
Aye.
Motion carries. Ordinance Z-14-26 is denied. I think that's it for you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mayor.
Moving along to legal and licensing, we have one item with Chairman Chairwitz.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the Des Plaines Foreign Fire Insurance Board, first reading of ordinance M 13-26. And I guess, Chief, are you taking this one, or who? who's got the details.
Yep, I got it. Good evening,
Okay.
Mayor and members of the City Council. This item is a follow-up to the intergovernmental agreement with the Foreign Fire Insurance Board that was approved by City Council on June 1st. The Foreign Fire Insurance Board is an independent entity established under the Illinois Foreign Fire Insurance License Fee Act. The existing language in the city code regarding the board is outdated and does not reflect the current structure of the terms of the newly approved agreement. The proposed ordinance amendment will repeal the existing Chapter 10 of Title II and establish a new section under Chapter 3-3-9 that will formally recognize the Foreign Fire Insurance Board and provide a framework for its operations and relationship with the city. The new language acknowledges the board's authority under state law and references the approved intergovernmental agreement, which outlines how the board may utilize certain city resources and how purchases made by the board for the benefit of the fire department will be reviewed and accepted. This amendment provides clarity, aligns with our municipal code with current practice, and ensures there's a clear legal framework moving forward. Be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you, Chief. One question I would ask is, what is the Foreign Fire Insurance Board and what does it do? I mean, I think I'm a little familiar with it, but not to misspeak, I'll let you give us your expertise.
Sure. The Foreign Fire Insurance Board is it's a special board established that collects a tax from local insurance companies, and that use is made for the fire department for the benefit and use of the fire department. So it provides certain items that go along in the fire station, workout equipment, things that benefit the members of the fire department.
Okay. Thank you. Then that would be meaning then the council does not have to fund those items. They're funded through this
Correct.
This additional fund.
Yeah, the board's, it's been established for many years, but we just, the intergovernmental agreement just kind of outlines some different rules that are outlined between the board and the city.
So this is basically cleaning up the wording, not really changing what you guys can spend it on, not anything. It goes on as it's been in the past.
Yes, just
Correct.
cleaning up the ordinance to make sure it reflects what's being done now.
Okay, great.
Great.
Any other comments from the Alderman? Seeing none. Any comments from the residents? Hearing none, I'd like to move to approve ordinance M-1326.
Motion from Chairman Chairwitz, second by Alderman Smith, for passage of resolution, or of ordinance M-13-26 on first reading. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. We're going to move back briefly to community development. For first reading of ordinance Z-14-26, Alderman Sayed, you are...
I made a mistake. I voted seconded, and I voted saying no. But with the permission of the council, I could change my vote to yes, meaning not to vote, not to go with it, please.
Because the motion was to deny.
Yeah.
Motion to deny.
Right,
yes.
and so Alderman Sayed desires to vote yes on the motion to deny.
Okay.
Without objection, the minutes will so reflect, and that'll be the official vote.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Are there any other Alderman comments for the good of the order? I would ask all the Aldermen to sit tight after this. We're going to take a brief photo after the adjournment. May I have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Alderman Sayed, second by Alderman Merlin. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. The City Council meeting of July 15th, 2026 is adjourned at 7:58 p.m. Good night.